My mortal enemy, Ethan Smith, just presented and went on a biting rampage. He said he'd take responsibility. Guilt-ridden. I hid in an empty classroom. He knocked and declared, "I went crazy and bit someone this morning. The teacher says you know who it was. Tell me, and I'll let you take first place in this exam." My bitten gland throbbed faintly. I challenged. "An alpha keeps his word. You'll really let me be top?" He gritted out, "Yes, absolutely yes. I've been inexplicably drowsy lately." When the differentiation alarm blared during someone's sudden presentation at school, I was snoring in the gymnasium, too far to hear a thing, oblivious to impending doom. I even thought Ethan had come to beat me up when he burst in. I sneered. Ethan, having a seizure or what? Only when he pinned me breathlessly against training mats did realization hit. His bloodshot eyes burned terrifyingly intense. Our usual sparring matches were evenly matched, but today I couldn't muster any resistance. Worse than his physical dominance. Some strange cloying scent crushed my lungs like a lion in rut. He loomed predatorily, scorching hands trapping my wrists. Beads of sweat clung to his forehead as he scrutinized me through narrowed eyes. Voice gravel rough. "You smell divine. Sweetheart, let me have one bite." I squirmed helplessly. "So we fought last week. Let go. Civilized people use words not. MPH. My protest died against his mouth. Widening eyes met overwhelming red wine fragrance before heat fogged my brain. A well-aimed kick made him grunt and loosen his grip. I scrambled sideways, only to get dragged back by my ankle. Ethan's growl vibrated against my ear. Should have attended health class. Little runaway. Panting against the mats, I vowed through clenched teeth, never skipping lectures again. If I hadn't been so careless today, I wouldn't be in this mess. My voice trembled as I choked out, "Why, you're terrifying. Get away from me." Ethan seemed furious about my escape. He pinned me to the ground without mercy, his heated breath grazing the nape of my neck until my skin prickled with numbness. Though I couldn't see his face, I knew his expression must be horrifying. Shivering, I rasped with tear-reddened eyes, "I'm Ivy. Stop this madness or I swear I'll—" Ethan's gravelly voice burned against my ear. "Why did you run? When will you finally see me?" A dark chuckle rumbled through him. "Oh, right. Once I mark you, you can't escape." My eyes widened in realization he presented as an alpha. By the time I understood, it was too late. Before I could attempt placating lies, his grip imprisoned me. "Ethan, you're such an asshole." I sobbed through the haze, drowning in suffocating notes of burgundy wine. I barely recall staggering away later, vision blurring, legs unsteady, until finding refuge in an empty classroom near the gym. Huddled in shadows, I gnawed my thumbnail whispering, "I'm dead. Totally dead." They say getting marked by an alpha means pregnancy. Am I really carrying that bastard's kid? But I hadn't even presented yet. Could unpresented people get pregnant from bites? Should have paid attention in ABO health class. My phone vibrated nonstop. News of Ethan's public presentation had spread campus-wide. Medics found him passed out post-rut, while I'd foolishly texted our homeroom teacher his location earlier, unable to let him potentially die from presentation fever. Now his scent still clung to me when he appeared at the classroom door, our pheromones tangling before he even spoke. My body was burning up again, his voice still hoarse. He coughed twice and said, "Ivy, I know you're in there." That gravelly tone matched exactly how he'd sounded when pinning me down earlier. I shrank deeper into my hiding spot, refusing to answer. Ethan waited through my silence before continuing. "Don't be scared. I'm stable now. Just presented as an alpha and bit someone. The teacher said you were nearby. Do you know who I bit?" My throat tightened. Why does it matter? The bite's already done. He stepped closer to the door. It matters. I need to take responsibility. Heat flooded my cheeks. Responsibility? Like hell. What if they don't want your responsibility? A low chuckle vibrated through the door. How do you know they don't? I scoffed. Would you want to be claimed by someone who attacked you out of nowhere? The laughter died. When Ethan spoke again, his voice pressed against the wood grain. Ivy, their feelings are their business. But I need answers. Tell me who it was, and I'll let you take first place on the midterms. First place? My traitorous pulse quickened. Seriously? An alpha keeps his word. You'd really throw the rankings for me? The pause stretched before his amused growl answered. Oh, you'll get your victory lap. Just tell me who I bit. Temptation warred with self-preservation. I wet my lips. Improvising. My friend. Make it worth my while, and I'll name them. Ethan's fingers scraped the doorknob as he snorted. Ivy, you're something else. I glanced sideways while keeping the window shut on the first floor. No way was I opening that door reeking of his scent. Couldn't let Ethan figure out he'd been the one who bit me. Got a problem with that. I quipped, fingers drumming the windowsill. Then say goodbye to finding out which poor sucker's been cursed. The little shit wouldn't play nice. We've been scrapping since sandbox days. Silence fell beyond the door, smirking at my apparent victory. I froze when Ethan's laughter vibrated through the wood. Fine then. Open up so I can sweet-talk you properly. Like hell I wanted his sweet-talking. Ivy. Oh, no. Ethan's knuckles rapped commandingly. Damn. Even his voice had that new hypnotic edge. My neck prickled with fresh numbness. Head swimming as I scrambled toward the window. The collision with the side table came too fast. A pained whimper escaped before I could choke it down. Bang. 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 Ivy. What's wrong? Answer me. His sudden ferocity startled me. Rubbing my bruised shin, I called out, Chill. I'm coming. Ignoring his muffled retort, I hoisted myself onto the windowsill. Metal shrieked. There stood Ethan in the splintered doorway, nostrils flaring as our eyes locked. His expression darkened like storm clouds rolling in. Why? He purred, tongue darting over sharp canines. Do you smell like me? Ivy? Panic surged. I lunged for freedom, but my limbs turned to jelly mid-leap. That bastard was weaponizing his pheromones. Ethan caught me effortlessly, my teeth sinking into his forearm as he lowered us both. Running. He growled against my temple while I gasped for air. We're just getting started. Ethan, are you out of your mind? Ethan allowed me to bite him without resistance, amusement dancing in his eyes as he looked down at me. He hoisted me onto the desk, caging me between his arms. Guilty as charged. Freshly presented. My apologies. He said, that infuriating smirk still in place. I tried kicking him away, but my weakened strength only made him chuckle. His gaze dropped to my foot, that low laugh vibrating through me. Heat flooded my cheeks as I shoved at his chest. You're insane. Get away from me. He captured my wrist, yanking me closer until his breath warmed my neck. A sharp inhale. Interesting. Ivy. His voice dropped dangerously. Weren't you claiming this was your friend's problem? His nose brushed my pulse point. Then why do you smell like my pheromones? Because you're an animal. I snapped, palm slapping over the bite mark. My friend was explaining things. Got too close. That's all. Back off. His chaotic biting technique had left minimal scent markers, but this human bloodhound noticed anyway. I'd rather die than admit the truth, an alpha candidate like me getting bitten by another alpha, especially my arch-rival. Humiliation didn't even cover it. Ethan's jaw clenched. This isn't a joke. Ivy, untreated, bites force victims into. Drop it. I cut him off, looking away. I'll tell you later. Okay? He released me with a frustrated click of his tongue, storming out without another word. Mr. Grumpy, I muttered at his retreating back, rubbing my wrist. I'm the one who should be upset here. My knees buckled when I jumped down, forcing me to grab the desk. A strange weakness lingered, probably from his stupid pheromones. What's wrong with me? Ethan skipped afternoon classes. Rumors said his new dynamic required medical supervision. I considered going home, too. This headache pounding behind my eyes. But tomorrow's athletic meet waited for no one. I signed up for the 3K and had afternoon training. During evening practice, Ethan returned. The scent on him completely faded. I just finished my 3K with a mediocre time. Coach was chewing me out, dizzy and tuning him out. I nodded along. Yeah, my bad. Won't happen again tomorrow. Ethan moved beside me. His gaze swept over me as he told Coach, I'll compete tomorrow. The doctor cleared me. Coach grunted. Good. Go run a lap then. Ivy ran like crap earlier. Let's see your form. Hey, why drag me into this? I tried sneaking off but got pinned by Coach's glare. Goddamn Ethan ran like some track god 4 flawless laps with barely a sheen of sweat. Coach turned to me smugly. See that form? That's how it's done. Take notes. I shot Ethan a glare. It's adequate. Coach suddenly snapped his fingers. Wait, you two live together. Right? Perfect. Ethan, drill some basics into him tonight. Hell no. I made frantic abort faces at Ethan. The traitor ignored me completely. Sure thing. God. My jaw clenched. Coach dismissed me first while keeping Ethan behind. Screw waiting for Mr. Perfect. I muttered, storming back to class. The classroom reeked of cheap booze. My neck started burning like fire ants crawling under my skin. I hurriedly packed up when a shadowed figure in back rasped. Ivy, wait up. What? I didn't recognize him much, just some troublemaker alpha who'd gotten suspended before. The classroom scent seemed to emanate from him. I instinctively touched the back of my neck. His pupils dilated as he suddenly leaned closer. I froze. Before I could react, he grabbed my wrist. Ivy, why do you smell like an alpha? Damn. His grip hurt. Are you insane? I snapped, yanking my hand back. Let go. He released me immediately, cheeks flushing. Sorry, Ivy. I overreacted. As an alpha myself, I just wanted to make sure nobody was harassing you. I raised an eyebrow. So that's what this was about. Alphas and their territorial instincts must have brushed against someone. I shrugged, rubbing my nose. Nobody dares mess with me. His lips quirked. True. You did take down those gang members last week. The memory made me snort. Losers couldn't even show their faces afterward. You done? Wait. He grabbed my arm again as I turned. When I glared, he started fumbling with something in his pocket, ears turning crimson. My stomach dropped as he produced a pink envelope. Oh, hell no. Even I couldn't miss this obvious confession. Since when did I become alpha catnip? His grip tightened like a vice as he stammered. Ivy. Ivy. I mean, before he could finish, Ethan's gloomy voice cut through the air behind us. What exactly are you two doing? I turned to find Ethan leaning against the doorway, arms crossed, his face ashen like a corpse. His gaze dropped pointedly to where my hand had been moments earlier. I instinctively jerked away, putting 2 steps between us. His eyes lingered on the love letter in the other guy's grip before snapping back to me. He snorted, rolling his eyes with exaggerated disdain. Huh? What's this? Ivy? Let's go. Home? No. My savior. I forced an apologetic smile at the guy. Sorry. We'll talk later. Gotta head out. As I turned to leave, the alpha blurted. Ivy, you live with him. I nodded absently, already speed walking toward Ethan. The weight of that burning stare followed us down the hallway. Only when we reached the school gates did I slow down, inhaling deeply. Finally, could have suffocated from that stench. My nose wrinkled at the memory. Oddly, Ethan's crisp cedar scent seemed almost pleasant in comparison. His fingers suddenly flexed around mine. Your hand's burning up. Ivy. I froze. When had we started holding hands? I tried to pull free, but Ethan tightened his grip. Let go. I hissed. He held you like this earlier. Ethan's stare traveled from my flushed face to my throat. Damn. My neck was burning again. So what? I challenged, tongue darting over suddenly dry lips. His jaw tightened. Without another word, he dragged me toward the parking lot, our palms still welded together by some unspoken contest of wills. Ethan said, You reek of him right now. What an awful stink. What's with alphas these days? Why do they all have such sensitive noses? I bit my lip. It's not like I wanted to smell like this. You've left your scent on me, too. Remember? The moment those words left my mouth, I regretted them. Sure enough, Ethan smirked the next second. True. You still haven't told me. Who exactly did I bite that day? I swallowed hard, avoiding his gaze as I mumbled. Just a friend. They don't want me telling you who. Seriously, why do you care so much? They don't even want you to take responsibility. His grip on my wrist tightened. I winced, furrowing my brows. Oh, you're hurting me. Ethan loosened his hold slightly. I yanked my hand free and tried to bolt, but his voice stopped me cold. Whether they want me accountable isn't the point. Ivy, did you sleep through every health class? If an omega gets accidentally marked and doesn't treat it immediately, they could go into spontaneous heat. Holy shit, I actually didn't know that. Not that it mattered, I hadn't presented yet. Even if I did eventually. With my athletic build, there's no way I'd be an omega. Yawning, I waved him off. I'll tell my friend. Okay? Stop worrying. If anything happens, I'll let you know. Promise. I chalked it up to Ethan's overactive sense of duty. Nothing more. His expression darkened, but he finally nodded. Fine. Your call. I slammed the door in Ethan's face. No special training tonight. After showering, the weird restlessness intensified. My parents were off celebrating their 20th anniversary, leaving me alone. For once, I went to bed early instead of pulling an all-nighter. Big mistake. 18 years of pristine chastity, and my first wet dream had to feature Ethan freaking Smith. In the dream, my skin burned. Ethan loomed over me with that infuriating smirk, watching me squirm like a fish on a cutting board. His low chuckle vibrated through me. Ivy, you know what happens when you let someone bite you? You get knocked up. But here's the thing, I don't feel like taking responsibility. I woke up furious. I intended to go to bed early, thinking I'd feel better tomorrow. But now that I sat up, the dizziness worsened. My whole body felt weak. Barely any strength left. Must be Ethan's fault. Leaning against the doorframe, catching my breath, I gritted out. This sucks. Hope it doesn't affect my 3-mile run. Sniffling, I grabbed my things and left. The Smith residence stood behind ours. We usually carpooled, but today's fatigue made me oversleep. Assuming Ethan had already left, I was startled to find him waiting at my doorstep. Coughing hoarsely, I blurted, You're still here? His gaze swept over me, brows furrowing. Waiting for you. What's wrong? You look terrible. Coming down with something. He stepped closer, palm pressing against my forehead. The gesture overlapped with my dream memory. Flustered, I stumbled back. What are you doing? Getting all handsy out of nowhere. Ethan clicked his tongue, checking for fever. Your parents made me promise to look after you. If you get sick, that's on me. I hunched deeper into my jacket, mumbling. Took my temperature this morning. No fever. Probably just sleep deprivation. His proximity reignited my dream-induced irritation, sharpening my tone. His eyebrow arched, but he remained silent. At the sports meet, I skipped the opening ceremony, dozing through the morning. By afternoon, something cold pressed against my forehead. Blinking blearily, I met Ethan's concerned gaze. "Ethan, don't you have long jump? Why are you here?" My words slurred with exhaustion. He scanned our surroundings instead of answering. "You smell that weird scent?" My foggy brain struggled. "Nothing except your obnoxious cologne," I muttered, nose wrinkling. "Can't smell anything else." Ethan's eyes narrowed, studying my neck with peculiar intensity. Before I could question him, he ruffled my hair. "Your face is burning up. Let's cool you down." Skip the 3 mile. Recent sprinting left him breathless, radiating warmth. My earlier snark hadn't been entirely spiteful, that faint, addictive musk clinging to him was real, drawing me in despite myself. I stared at the face before me. He looked exactly like in my dreams, though his words made me want to punch him. Jerk. I turned away, muttering, "Bring it on. A measly 3-kilometer race is nothing." Ethan's gaze shifted from my face to the nape of my neck. Squinting slightly, he said, "All right, then. I'll see you on the track." Before walking away, yawning, I headed to the field. To my surprise, Ethan stood beside that guy who tried to confess to me yesterday. The air felt strangely tense as I approached. Feeling better, Ethan asked when he noticed me. I wasn't, if anything. The pounding in my skull had worsened. Muffled whispers about some scent reached my ears, probably from all these alpha hormones flooding the track. The chaotic mix of pheromones made my temples throb, but with so many classmates around, I forced to smile. "Yeah, much better." Ethan remained silent, his scrutinizing eyes lingering on me. The alpha beside him followed suit, his stare making my skin crawl. The first day of track meet arrived. The 3,000-meter race had drawn massive crowds, largely due to Ethan's participation. I grimaced at the overwhelming musk, massaging my temples as I stepped onto the lane. Ethan tried pushing through the throng to reach me, but the starting gun fired before he could. Within seconds, the pack surged forward. Ethan stayed far ahead while that alpha guy disappeared. By the 2,000-meter mark, I held third position. The stench of competing pheromones had lessened, but my legs wobbled with growing weakness. As we approached the final stretch, the base of my neck began burning. "Damn it," I hissed through clenched teeth, forcing myself forward despite the tremors in my knees. The noise around me suddenly grew louder. I couldn't make out what people were saying, nor did I care. My peripheral vision caught teachers rushing to form a circle. Then a panicked shout rose from the crowd. "Mr. Johnson, an alpha's gone into rut." Before I could react, the cloying stench of cheap red wine flooded my senses, clawing its way into my pores. Shit, it hurt like my veins were pumping liquid fire. My muscles locked as the acrid smell drilled into my skull. The finish line blurred ahead. Ethan's frantic voice cut through the haze. "Ivy." I gasped, straining to lift my head. My sneakers hit the white tape just as darkness swallowed me whole. Agony. Searing wetness between my thighs. Screams erupted as I surfaced from the blackout. My knees dug into the track, Ethan's arms cradling me, his face thunderous as he glared over my shoulder. What fresh hell waited behind us? When our eyes met, his expression shattered. Cold fingers brushed sweat-drenched hair from my forehead. "Can you stand?" His voice shook. Humiliation burned hotter than the fever. The school's top tough girl reduced to this? I shook my head, teeth gritted as I tried pushing upright. My legs folded instantly. "Fuck," I hissed, tears pricking my eyes. "Everything hurts." Ethan clicked his tongue, scooping me up bridal style. Cheers and gasps erupted. My face flamed crimson. Ethan. I squirmed, palms against his sweat-slicked jersey. Put me down. His forearm beneath my knees felt like salvation, cool against the inferno raging under my skin. Can't. He rasped, breath hot against my ear. His own chest heaved from the race. Some idiot forgot suppressants. You're reacting. The world tilted as he adjusted his grip. My temple met the damp hollow of his throat. Every labored breath he took vibrated through me, his racing pulse thudding against my cheek. The scent on Ethan was intoxicating. I felt drunk, my head swimming as I pressed closer to him, bonelessly clinging to Ethan. I panted. I'm not an omega. Why am I affected like this? Ethan, you smell so good. My fingers crept under his shirt, craving to taste him. Ethan's arms tightened around me, his breathing turning ragged. Maybe you should ask someone. He growled, voice strained. Who didn't realize they're going through presentation fever? Are you really this clueless? Ivy? Yet he kept holding me despite his words. Presentation fever? Clueless? The words made no sense through the haze clouding my mind, a haze filled entirely with Ethan and his rich burgundy scent. As he sprinted with me in his arms, his warm breath ghosting over my ear, I whimpered, Don't care. Ethan, I feel awful. You smell so. His pace quickened. The air thickened with wine, like pheromones that melted my bones. Nuzzling his neck instinctively, I felt Ethan shudder. Damn it, Ivy. He rasped, sounding uncharacteristically flustered. I'm an alpha. Are you trying to kill me here? Later at the hospital. The suppressant shot brought cruel clarity. My hand shook holding the test results. Congratulations, mister. Ivy on presenting as a healthy paired grapefruit omega. Fertility status, optimal. Congratulations, my ass. A badass 6 feet 2 inches dude like me becoming an omega? Ethan's muffled laughter made me lash out with a kick he easily caught. Smirking, he massaged my ankle. Relax. Princess. His thumb circled the delicate joint where my new mating gland pulsed. We'll figure this out. The unspoken promise in his eyes scared me more than the diagnosis. All right, you just presented your secondary gender. Your body's still adjusting. Ethan tightened his grip on my wrist, his brow raised. Feeling any discomfort, I ground my molars, glaring back. You existing makes me uncomfortable. This is definitely your fault for biting me. Ethan, I'm gonna kick your ass. The corner of his mouth twitched with amusement. Biting you. His voice dropped as he leaned closer, the faint scent of red wine clinging to him. Ivy, didn't you claim it was your friend who got bitten? Shit. Caught in my own lie. I turned my face away, but his fingers gripped my chin, forcing me to meet those dangerous amber eyes. Ivy. He purred, the word vibrating through my bones. Explain. Oh, sure. Flex your alpha privilege. I spat back, squirming in his hold. So what if it was me? Your technique sucked anyway. Hurt like hell. You rookie. Ethan's laughter surprised me, warm and throaty. Before I could react, he closed the distance between us. My back hit the wall as his lips crashed against mine. No tentative exploration this time. His tongue swept through my defenses, igniting wildfires across my skin. I shoved him away with trembling hands, my chest heaving. Ethan, have you lost your damn mind? He licked his lips slowly, gaze tracking the frantic pulse at my throat. That alpha who cornered you last week. He murmured, tucking a stray lock of hair behind my ear. The movement bared his scent gland, making my head swim. What exactly was he trying to do when I found you? Memories flooded back, that trembling classmate clutching love letters. His cloying cedarwood scent overwhelming my senses. How should I know? I croaked, throat dry. Ethan caged me against the wall, his breath hot against my cheek. He was marking you. The growl in his voice raised every hair on my neck. drenched you in his stench as a challenge. Did you really think I'd let another alpha claim what's mine? His teeth grazed my bonding gland, and the world dissolved into static. My mind went blank for a second. Huh? I blurted out, confused. Why would he provoke you? What's there to provoke about you? Ethan's gaze burned into me. He smirked. Because everyone knows I'm into you. They think you're mine. Holy shit. My face instantly burned like wildfire, ears ringing so loud I could barely hear anything. I turned away in panic, but Ethan wouldn't let me escape. He pried my hands from my flushed face, staring straight at me with those intense eyes. But they only got one thing right. My hands trembled. Ethan continued, "You don't belong to anyone. Not to some imaginary owner." His lips curled again. "Wait, scratch that. It's not a secret crush anymore. It's out in the open now." I said, "Shut up." I stammered, trembling. "I don't want to hear this." Ethan kept advancing, kneeling on my bed like some dramatic prince. He lifted my hand, pressing a soft kiss to my knuckles. "Ivy, I like you. Can I chase you properly?" I wanted to call the cops. My childhood rival having feelings for me? Unfreaking believable. Now I suspected his accidental appearance at the gym that day was totally planned. Cornered against the wall with zero escape. I snapped. "What if I say no? You'll stop?" Ethan flashed that infuriating grin. "Not a chance in hell." Knew it. Furious. I kicked him square in the crotch. Then why the hell ask? He doubled over with pained laughter, still managing to ease out. "So, is that a yes, sweetheart?" "Fucking hell." I hissed, scarlet-faced. "You've already kissed me. Think you can walk away now?" I jabbed a finger at him. "Try ditching me, and I'll knock your teeth in." Ethan froze mid-chuckle. Then it hit him. His eyes lit up before he pinned me down, lowering his head. Our breaths tangled. Through the haze in my mind, I thought, so this is what being on top feels like. Wait, can an Omega even take the dominant position? They call me the untouchable campus heartthrob, the straight-A honors student. Only I know the truth. I'm consumed by desire and jealousy. The moment I sense someone coveting what's mine, I lose control. Ivy's too kind, too trusting. How could they keep someone as twisted as me around for years? That accidental marking in the gymnasium was no accident. I planned it meticulously after seeing them smile at someone else, allowing that person's scent to cling to their skin. Why should others get what I can't? So I shamelessly forced my claim. Their entire body melted like warm honey. When I heard that tearful Ethan, "It hurts," whispered against my chest. I relented and released them. They fled, then completely denied knowing me afterward. No matter, I've got endless patience. But I never anticipated someone would dare proposition them openly. That night I rushed through track practice, hoping to walk home together. The stench of that low-tier alpha hit me outside the classroom, rancid body odor barely masked by cheap cologne. I watched from the doorway as he approached Ivy with love letter in hand. Normally, I wouldn't care about confessions. Ivy would never fall for his type. But this cockroach actually tried to overwrite my scent mark on them. No true alpha would tolerate such disrespect. During the 3,000-meter race when he taunted me, I improvised. Just a subtle pressure on his scent glands to trigger his rut. I never meant for it to affect Ivy. Thankfully, it only accelerated their secondary gender manifestation. Ivy always wanted to present as alpha, believes it'll help protect the vulnerable. That's just how their beautiful mind works. Frankly, I don't care if they're alpha, omega, or beta. Ivy will always be my everything. "Ethan, are you having a seizure?" They slurred, arms draped around my neck with alcohol, flushed cheeks. "I'm telling you, I want to be on top." I admit I was being a jerk. But he started it first. I agreed. Too bad he couldn't hold himself out. Finally he sobbed. Ethan, you're such an asshole. I chuckled. Baby, how can I be an asshole? I'm so obedient. Ivy flushed crimson, panting heavily. His body trembled slightly as he murmured in breathless accusation. You are. I actually fell for an asshole. Damn it. Ivy, that's not playing fair. I like you too.